Hi guys!
Hi.
Hi.
Glad to see you.
So today I'm going to ask you some questions about your teaching. Maybe we should just get started. So what course do you teach?
We teach IN 1000. This is an introductory course, Introduction to Object-Oriented Programming, and it's given at the Department of Informatics.
And what are the learning objectives in your course?
Well, simply put, the students are to learn basic programming. More specifically, what we focus in the course is the creative aspect of programming. The ability to have a lot of quite simple programmatic statements, but to put them together in order to solve a problem. In addition to this, we want them to develop a mindset where they seek very precise understanding of whatever they do. If they learn such a mindset, this will help them to both avoid spending too much time solving errors, but also that this will help them when they later learn more and are going to create larger programs.
In addition to these generic building bricks that most programming languages offer, the students learn to apply object-oriented concepts and constructs to model and also to implement more complex problems. Object-oriented programming is a tool or a way of thinking that was developed at our department 50 years ago and which has been very influential in computer science in general. So we're a bit proud of that.
So how do you assess your students throughout the semester?
In the first part of the course, we have weekly obligatory exercises that are carefully aligned with what we consider to be the main learning aims of these weeks, and where they get to practice on what they have just learned. In the second part of the course, the students are to use object orientation to solve large and more complex assignments. The focus is more on kind of combining these different constructs that they have learned throughout the course. The final exam is a 4-hour written exam, which tests the students' ability to read and trace code and to write programs that solve problems of varying complexity.
Which activities in the lectures and seminars do you use?
Learning activities in this course are built up as a weekly cycle. We start with a 2-hour lecture that introduces new material. And then after the lecture, the students work on assignments on their own. They are divided into smaller groups, and these groups are led by teaching assistants. They meet every week, 2 hours with a lab where they work individually but have access to help from TA, and 2-hour seminars, which are more actively led by the teaching assistant. So they will work in groups or solve problems together on a whiteboard or answer problems that they have after the lecture, etc.
The progression we often use is to first introduce a concept, then exemplify how the concept can be used to solve problems through live coding by the teacher. After that, we give a problem to the students that they try to solve on their own, and then afterwards discuss in pairs. In the latter part of the course, we use simplified examples of more ready-made code snippets, because this type of programming typically requires larger programs to be meaningful.
How do you use digital tools to support your teaching?
There are more than 700 students starting on this course every year, and some come without any pre-knowledge of programming at all, and others have quite a lot of experience. One of the ways that we try to address this variety is we have a database of voluntary exercises with solutions where you can look up exercises based on keywords, level, which week of the course you want to work with, etc. And this actually helps students both practice, but also through this practice to identify where they have gaps in what they should be able to handle when practicing programming.
As mentioned, we also make extensive use of live programming in lectures. And then, of course, we write the code in an editor, and we also make sure to run the programs frequently. Apart from that, we use a simple code debugger. This is something that allows us to visualize in detail how the code executes one line at a time.
And then we use a tool called Mentimeter, which is used to present and to collect answers to questions, and also to ask questions about how the course works, what they like, what they don't like, etc., and identify problem areas, both in the subject matter that they're learning, but also regarding the course.
How do conversations with other teachers help you develop your teaching?
Well, since we are 2 teachers in this course, we have the possibility to discuss all aspects of the course at a level of detail much beyond what one can typically do if we if you discuss only with teachers of other courses. And these discussions, they do require a bit of extra time, but we have also experienced that they really help shape the course. Seeing each other's viewpoints about how to introduce a topic, what order to introduce it, what to include or not, and so on, have really helped improve our course throughout the years.
Finally, but also very important, we have between 20 and 30 very competent and engaged teaching assistants in this course. We meet with them every week for almost 1 hour to discuss how things work, what are the problems, what do we do next week. And the feedback that they give to us is very important for both the content and the actual offers that we have in this course.